Information tonight in the death of a little boy and the pageant queen charged with his murder. Authorities say Miss Donaldsonville killed that toddler in a dorm room at the college she attends. News 4's Bayla Walker live in the newsroom to explain these developments in this case that is receiving worldwide attention. Bayla, what's the latest?
Yeah, Kinsley, a Georgia coroner says the 18-month-old toddler suffered blunt force trauma to his head. Pageant queen Trinity Poague is charged with murder. She's a freshman at Georgia Southwestern University in Americus, Georgia. Now, the county coroner says that's where the boy suffered his injuries. Just 3 months after competing in Dothan's Miss National Peanut Festival pageant, Poague is now in jail in Sumter County, Georgia. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation charged Poague with aggravated assaults and cruelty to children. And Kinsley, as for the boy who died, there's some confusion about his name. Coroner Mathis Wright tells us his birth certificate lists him as Romeo Angles, but the boy's dad, whom investigators did not charge, named him Jackson Drew. Newsweek, major networks, and European publications posted this story after News 4 broke it first on Saturday. Kinsley?
A heartbreaking case. Bayla Walker, thank you for that update. Trinity Poague, who is 18, has no bond and is still in jail.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today I have another story. Now this story is about Jackson Williams. Jackson Williams was a 18-month-old little boy that passed away by the hands of his father's girlfriend. Jawan Williams was the full custody parent over Jackson. Now, he had signed papers because Jackson's mother didn't want to, be responsible and have custody. So she signed for custody over to Jawan. Jawan also had a girlfriend by the name of Trinity Poague. Trinity Poague was 18 years old and she was attending Georgia Southwestern University. Trinity Poague and Jackson's father was dating for about a year. Now, Trinity stayed in this dorm room and she got accepted into the college through a scholarship, and it was the prestigious President Jimmy Carter Scholarship. It was a program for students and they had to meet certain requirements in order to get in. Now, a 3.0 grade point average is what Trinity had. So Trinity was one of the people that was qualified for this program and she got into the program. Now, also, Trinity was also titled Miss Donaldsonville, Georgia in 2023. She also had entered the Miss National Peanut Award pageant, and Trinity was on the road to success. At least people thought she was. But little did they know that her boyfriend's baby would wind up deceased by the hands of her. Now, on the day of January 14th, Trinity will babysit for her boyfriend while he go and get them something to eat. While he was out, Trinity would text him stating it was either her or his baby. Now, he didn't know that Trinity felt that way. But of course, after getting the pizza, he was coming back to the dorm room to talk to her about what she texted him. Now, once he get there, immediately Trinity hands him the baby and cries, saying that something was wrong with Jackson. Now, immediately, Jackson's father calls the ambulance to get him to the hospital. There is when Jackson's father realized that his son was injured and badly injured. They had to bring his son back several times. Jackson was lifeless in this hospital. Come to find out, he had blood force trauma to his brain. Like something happened in the mix of him going to get pizza and coming back. Immediately, he tells authorities that his girlfriend was babysitting while he go get something to eat. Police officers and everything questioned him. He had nothing to hide, so he told everything he knew, even offering to give his cell phone to police. At this time, they ruled him out as a suspect. he wasn't there. Of course, Trinity was babysitting, so they questioned her several times afterwards, asking her what happened. Eventually, on January 19th, they would arrest Trinity and charge her with aggravated battery, felony murder, and also cruelty to children in the first degree. Trinity looked devastated. She was confused. But how come when she know exactly what she done and she was the last person with the baby? Now witnesses state that Trinity showed jealous when she was around Jackson. Now, I don't understand how can you be jealous of a baby? And if you can't deal with someone with children, just don't date them. Why not break it off with Jackson's father? But unfortunately, Trinity didn't do that. She took it upon her own hands to harm the baby. Now, people are saying that the baby accidentally fell off the bed, but no matter what, he was in the hands of Trinity and her job was to babysit. That means to make sure that Jackson was safe. How could he fall off the bed if you were watching him? Now, they also say that Trinity had family that's in law enforcement, so they're trying to sweep this up under the rug. But baby, it could hit national news. What more can they sweep up under a rug? Jackson needs justice, and also Jackson family has created a GoFundMe to help with burying Jackson. Also, his father is devastated, and of course, his father had full custody of the son because the mother in the beginning gave her rights over to him. So of course, Jackson's dad will be controlling his funeral arrangements and everything.
In true crime, a Georgia beauty queen who seemed to be living her best life is now behind bars, accused of the murder of an 18-month-old child. On Friday, 18-year-old Trinity Poague was arrested on multiple charges, including felony murder in connection to the death of that baby boy. Now, Poague is currently being held without any bond, and multiple sources are reporting that Poague was dating the child's father. In October, the 18-year-old was named Miss Donaldsonville and later competed in the National Peanut Festival pageant. She's a student at Georgia Southwestern State University. So will this beauty queen stay behind bars? Let's bring in our power panel and get their thoughts. I'm so pleased to have with me forensic death investigator, professor at Jacksonville State University, and the host of the Body Bags podcast, Joseph Scott Morgan. Civil attorney and celebrity attorney, John M. Phillips, and criminal defense attorney and former elected district attorney, Matthew Mangino. Wow, what a panel we have on this Tuesday morning. Big welcome to you all. Let's go around the horn. I want to get all of your thoughts on this and what is coming up next for this beauty queen. Matthew Mangino, as you were the former district attorney, I'd love for you to kick off this conversation for us, please.
Well, yeah, this is a strange case. You have a college student and a child, an 18-month-old infant in a dormitory who's transported to the hospital, which subsequently is determined that there's blunt force trauma that caused this child's death, and ultimately this student is arrested. Obviously, she was a caregiver. She was there in this dormitory room. There's been investigations in terms of potential witnesses and evidence, and ultimately the state believes that they have sufficient evidence to charge her with murder.
Right, Matthew. These charges, they are heavy. This is serious stuff for this very young woman, only 18. Attorney John Phillips, to you next, please. Lots of public interest in this one, as you know, with her history of being a beauty pageant winner.
Yeah, it adds another element because we don't expect those that succeed, right? Those that are known for beauty and, some sophistication to be able to get through the pageant process, to be murderers, particularly at so young. It's interesting too that this is felony murder The family set up a GoFundMe, and it's just truly tragic when you've lost a life. Certainly, there's accountability for that, but now you've got an 18-year-old who's facing the criminal justice system probably for life.
Right, John. Well said. And I like what you said there. You know, it's even more stunning when you see someone who is on a successful path. And this is someone who's in school and winning pageants and then hear these charges. And of course, we're all mindful they are just charges at this point. Joseph Scott Morgan, last but certainly not least, I have somewhat of a different question for you, please, tapping into your expertise as a death investigator. There are reports that the child died of blunt force trauma, but we don't know much more this morning. So tell me where your head is this morning on where the investigation may have gone, how investigators might have arrived at that conclusion with this little baby.
Yeah, good morning, Julie, and to the rest of the panel. I got to tell you, this is what she is faced with relative to this. She's brought down the full weight and force of the Georgia Bureau of Investigation. This, apparently, this child was in a dormitory room at a state university. And so this is really going to be under the microscope. I can just put it to you very bluntly like that. Now, as far as the blunt force trauma this child sustained, that can come in any number of forms. Was an object used? Were her hands or feet potentially used? We don't really know at this particular time. But that dorm room in particular is going to be cordoned off. It'll be used as the central location, if you imagine it as the hub of a wagon wheel, with the rest of the investigation extending outward from there. And I'll be curious to see how the campus police were able to secure that area, because if you're talking about blunt force trauma, if there's blood deposition in that room, on any of the beds, bedding, on any of the walls, those sorts of things, that's going to have to be locked down. Was it secured and preserved? Did she have a roommate? I have no idea. We're going to find out more. But this is going to be a full court press by the state of Georgia. You can take that to the bank.
Great insight from you as always, Professor Joe. Thank you so much for that.
All she had to do was babysit Jackson, and once her boyfriend come back, discuss the issue with him and move on. Girl, you're 18. You was in college. You was on a road to a good path. Why not leave without violence or murdering someone? But unfortunately, you live and you learn. Unfortunately, Jackson had to be in the hands of somebody that didn't protect him or really cared for him. Rest Jackson Williams' soul. You guys, let's pray for this family, and let's keep safe and try to think before we react. You guys, don't forget to like, comment, and definitely subscribe to my channel. Subscribe for more videos like this. I appreciate you guys watching my story times and sticking with me. Again, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Peace.